The Alaskan wilderness, draped in a thick blanket of snow, beckoned with a haunting beauty that was both mesmerizing and formidable. Jagged peaks rose majestically against a slate-gray sky, their summits glistening like diamonds under the pale sun. The air was crisp and biting, infused with the invigorating scent of pine and the promise of profound solitude. For Jake, this was not just a destination, it was paradise, a place to escape the relentless noise of modern life. As an avid hiker and lover of the great outdoors, Jake craved the thrill of adventure. He longed to immerse himself in nature's embrace, to feel the raw power of the wild coursing through his veins. With a sturdy backpack filled with essential gear, thermal layers, a compact stove, and a trusty compass, he set off into the unknown, heart racing with anticipation. Every crunch of snow beneath his boots fueled his excitement, and the vast open landscape stirred a sense of freedom he had longed for. However, lurking beneath this idyllic exterior was a reminder that nature is not just a playground. It is a realm of unpredictability, governed by its own rules. Jake was aware that he was a guest in this wilderness, but the thrill of exploration blinded him to the lurking dangers. He was about to learn that the serene beauty of the Alaskan landscape could quickly transform into a fierce trial. A sudden blizzard would challenge his resolve, and an encounter with a curious pack of wolves would force him to confront his deepest fears. In this unforgiving paradise, Jake would discover not just the wild's power, but also the profound lessons of respect, humility, and the intricate balance of life in nature. The journey begins. Jake's first day on the trail was invigorating. The crunch of snow under his boots and the soft whispers of the wind filled him with a sense of freedom. The beauty of the landscape captivated him, towering evergreens adorned with glistening icicles, the sun casting a warm glow over the untouched snow. He felt alive, his spirits soaring with each step. As evening approached, however, the weather began to change. Dark clouds rolled in, and a biting wind picked up, sending a chill through Jake's bones. He had been monitoring the forecast, but nature was unpredictable. Ignoring the signs, he pressed on, determined to reach a suitable camping spot before nightfall. Caught in the blizzard, just as Jake began to search for shelter, the storm hit. What started as a gentle snowfall transformed into a blinding blizzard, winds howling like a banshee. Visibility plummeted to mere feet, and panic surged within him. He struggled to maintain his bearings, the familiar trail disappearing into a white void. "Stay calm," he muttered to himself, trying to quell the rising tide of fear. He knew he had to find shelter quickly. After what felt like hours battling the elements, he spotted a dark shape through the flurry of snow, an abandoned cabin. With the storm raging around him, Jake stumbled toward the cabin, heart racing. He pushed open the creaking door, relief washing over him as he stepped inside. The air was still and stale, but it was a sanctuary from the brutal storm outside. Finding shelter. Inside, Jake took stock of his surroundings. The cabin was rustic, with a stone fireplace and wooden beams, but it was intact. He quickly set to work gathering kindling and firewood from the remnants of furniture and crates. As the flames flickered to life, he felt a renewed sense of hope. The warmth of the fire enveloped him, a stark contrast to the raging storm outside. But as he settled into the cozy space, a chilling sound sliced through the air, the unmistakable howls of wolves. The howls begin. At first they were distant, a haunting echo that seemed to weave through the storm. Jake's heart raced. He recalled the stories he'd heard about wolves, their vocalizations a mix of communication and territory marking. The howls were beautiful yet eerie, a reminder of the wildness lurking just beyond the cabin walls. As the howls grew closer, Jake's fear intensified. What if they approached? His mind raced with visions of encounters he'd heard about. Hikers cornered by curious packs, the line between predator and prey blurred in the dim light of twilight. He fortified the cabin, barricading the door with an old wooden table and stoking the fire to keep the chill at bay. Yet the howls persisted, growing louder and more insistent. Jake's heart hammered in his chest as he listened, torn between fascination and dread. Jake's fear. With each howl, Jake's thoughts spiraled deeper into fear. The wolves were not just animals, they were predators, instinct-driven and powerful. What if they sensed him, a lone intruder in their territory? Memories of campfire tales flooded his mind, tales of wolves prowling, their eyes gleaming with curiosity or hunger. He could almost see them outside, their sleek bodies moving silently through the snow, shadows against the white landscape. The stories he'd dismissed now echoed loudly in his mind. Was he truly prepared for this encounter? Had he underestimated the danger he faced? Jake squeezed his eyes shut, attempting to block out the fear. He had come seeking adventure, and now he found himself grappling with the very essence of survival. This wasn't just a hike, it was a test of will and respect for nature's untamed heart. The night of terror. As night fell, the atmosphere grew thick with tension. The wolves continued to howl, the sound reverberating through the cabin. It was a symphony of wildness, both terrifying and mesmerizing. Jake sat huddled by the fire, every crackle of the flames accentuating the sounds outside. His thoughts wandered to his own mortality. He had always viewed nature as a playground, a place for exploration, but now he realized how easily the balance could tip. The storm outside raged with fury, while the wolves serenaded the night with their haunting calls. The howling intensified and Jake's mind raced. Were they circling the cabin? He listened intently, heart pounding, as the howls grew closer, weaving a narrative of the night. He felt their presence, an electric charge in the air that sent a shiver down his spine. Suddenly he heard a thud against the door. A surge of panic flooded him, and he jumped to his feet, adrenaline coursing through his veins. The howling turned into yips and barks, a chorus of curiosity and caution. Jake's instincts screamed at him to fight or flee, but he was trapped. He gripped a heavy log from the fireplace, ready to defend himself if necessary. The pounding continued, each thud a reminder of the raw power outside. He peered through a crack in the wooden door, heart racing, desperate to catch a glimpse of the wolves. A surprising encounter. When he finally saw them, he was taken aback. The wolves were not the monstrous predators of his nightmares. They were magnificent, their fur glistening under the moonlight. They seemed to dance on the edge of the clearing, their eyes bright and curious. Jake's fear began to shift, a flicker of fascination igniting within him. Instead of attacking, the wolves appeared intrigued by the cabin and its solitary occupant. They sniffed the air, their heads tilting as they listened to the sounds within. A moment of connection passed between Jake and the pack, a fleeting understanding that they were all creatures of the wilderness, trying to survive in their own way. Jake lowered the log, entranced by their beauty. He watched as they played in the snow, leaping and tumbling, their howls becoming a playful chorus rather than a menacing threat. He felt a strange kinship with them, recognizing that fear often stemmed from misunderstanding. In that moment, the world outside shifted. The storm continued to rage, but inside the cabin, time felt suspended. The wolves were not merely predators. They were a part of this wild, beautiful ecosystem. Jake found himself reflecting on his own place within it. The break of dawn. As dawn approached, the howls faded into the distance. The first light of morning filtered through the snow-laden trees, casting a soft glow over the landscape. Jake breathed a sigh of relief, the weight of the night lifting as he sat by the dying fire. He had survived the night, but it was more than just a physical trial. The experience had transformed him. He felt a deeper appreciation for the wilderness and a newfound respect for the creatures that inhabited it. The fear that had once consumed him was replaced by understanding and gratitude. With the dawn came clarity. Jake knew he had to find his way back. He gathered his belongings, his compass in hand, and stepped outside into the crisp morning air. The world was a different place in the light of day, a breathtaking expanse of white, untouched by the chaos of the night before. The journey home. Navigating back was no easy task. The storm had covered familiar paths, obscuring the trail he had followed the day before. But with each step, Jake felt a sense of purpose. The sun rose higher, illuminating the landscape, and he followed the compass, trusting his instincts. As he hiked, memories of the night flooded his mind, the howls, the wolves, and the lessons learned. He had entered the wilderness seeking adventure, but emerged with a profound understanding of the delicate balance of life. Nature was not a backdrop for his exploits. It was a living, breathing entity, deserving of respect. After hours of hiking, he finally encountered a group of fellow hikers. Their laughter and chatter filled the air, a warm reminder of human connection. Jake felt a wave of relief wash over him. He was no longer alone. The hikers welcomed him, and as he recounted his harrowing night, they listened with rapt attention. They shared their own stories, bonding over the beauty and unpredictability of the wilderness. Conclusion: as Jake drove away from the Alaskan wilderness, he realized that true adventure extends beyond the thrill of exploration. It lies in the profound connections we forge with nature and its inhabitants. His night with the snow wolves had taught him that respect for the wild is paramount. Nature is not merely a backdrop for our escapades. It is a living tapestry woven with intricate threads of life and survival. In the heart of the storm, Jake discovered that fear can transform into understanding, and vulnerability can lead to enlightenment. He returned home not just as a hiker, but as a steward of the wild, a reminder to cherish the beauty and unpredictability of the natural world. Let Jake's journey inspire us all. When we immerse ourselves in nature, we must approach it with humility and reverence. Each howl in the night echoes the stories of countless lives intertwined in the wilderness. Embrace the wild, respect its rules, and you may just find yourself forever changed by its timeless wisdom.